One, I'm live. Are you live, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me share some handouts. Training day is over. This morning, each of you received a call, were visited by an informant, or received an encrypted message via the internet. It did not matter how you communicated with your contact. This was it, your first mission. You had spent the last couple years being slowly fed information about the conspiracies of the world, enough to give you some knowledge but not harm you at the same time, so that when this day came, you could react appropriately. Eliminate the threat, contain the threat, hide the threat. This was your tenet, always, no matter the threat posed. How you make that happen is the real question, and is up to you. 9920.22998921.212.333. You were to investigate the murders of Malcolm Ridgeway, age 44, Diana Ridgeway, 43, Michael Ridgeway, 18, Clark Ridgeway, 16, Dean Ridgeway, 14, Mary Ridgeway, 13, Alice Ridgeway, 12, and Clarice Ridgeway, 10, in Alliance, New Jersey on October 12th. The murder was Michael Way, 26, deceased. Way was a mathematics student at Columbia University, New York. At the scene, Way wrote a series of numbers which are known to possess dangerous paranormal properties. Instructions. Determine if Way distributed the numbers in any manner besides the crime scene, such as a phone, text, social media, or email. Locate Way's notes and other works on the number and destroy them. Destroy the numbers written at the scene and all photographic evidence of them in the hands of the authorities. Locate any individuals who have been exposed to the numbers and have mathematical experience to report them to your case officer immediately. To establish a cover story for Way's actions, link Way romantically to Diana Ridgeway. Create whatever documents are necessary to make an affair between them seem likely. Once these actions are complete, contact your case officer for further instructions. Possible friendly contact: Trooper Thomas Blannett, New Jersey State Police. And that was in your dossier. One thing you do remember that was odd when you were contacted by your contact, your handler. They asked you specifically if you had any experience with mathematics, particularly high-level mathematics or physics. Each of you said no, and therefore were assigned to the case. You get the distinct impression that if you had said yes, perhaps the opposite was true. Not understanding fully why, you simply read the case files and proceed to JFK, or your nearest airport. You do come into JFK in a layover, your connecting flight. From JFK, you each produced your tickets for a small prop plane. The tickets were under your assumed names, of course, whatever you had been assigned. Your photos all matched your fake driver's license and FBI identifications. You felt nerves as you first used them to get past TSA. You figured if it didn't work to get past a fat, underpaid TSA agent, you were screwed anyway. They did work, of course. The forgeries were about as good as it could get. There you waited, just knowing that everyone except the two pilots on the plane were your field team. Each of you saw 3 other people mingling around the small terminal, but no one was brave enough to make themselves known, not yet. The flight was a short hop over to Alliance, New Jersey, landing on a small airstrip. You remember your handlers asking, on a scale to 1 to 10, how well would you say you understand physics? It was an odd question. None of you knew much about it and figured it was enough to disqualify you, and yet it was just the opposite. You had the dossier in each of your phones encrypted and only accessible with a pen and a thumbprint. Your cover was simple enough. You were all to pose as FBI special agents being brought in from out of district. You did not know how Delta Green pulled it off, but they did. It was dangerous if you got caught, years in jails, and Delta Green might not be able to help you if you did. These planes were loud, not like jets, and particularly this half-empty 8-seat plane. The pilots had massive headphones on and microphones, and certainly wouldn't be able to hear anything you said in the back, uh, quieter than a full shout. You touch down in less than 30 minutes, and introductions have yet to be made. Let me swing you over. Is it all black to you or no?
I can see.
Oh, I know why. 1 second.
Yeah, I can see.
So, you sit on the plane, it rumbling through the air as you get lift off. Feel free to begin role playing.
A short-haired woman sits in one of the seats, one of her legs bouncing slightly as she looks out the window. Looks to be slightly agitated during the flight, maybe even a bit nervous. She takes a pack of nicotine gum out of her pocket. Popping 2 into her mouth seems a bit excessive, but she quickly puts them between her lips and starts chewing, looking out the window, and she finally snaps herself out of it, turning to the rest of you, looking you all over, almost assessing. Though she's a bit nervous, she's got fairly kind eyes. She's looking all over, not judgmentally, more just curious than anything.
Seated somewhat behind her is a rather tall woman with long black hair. She is obviously of some sort of mixed heritage, maybe Indian, maybe Arabic. She's been rather relaxed for the flight, spending most of it looking at each person, sometimes giving them a little smile. She leans forward to the woman in front of her and says, not like flying, or just need a smoke?
It's a kind of mix of both there. Not really the biggest fan of planes. I ain't never been. How about you? You looking pretty calm there.
Oh, this is a short one for me. I'm used to spending whole days on planes, it feels like. So, let's see. You gentlemen. I'm Kamini Amar. And you are? She says, looking to everyone.
Yeah, Agent Monroe over kind of seat kind of opposite and up one. Kind of looks her over and looks over the rest of them. Yeah, call me Robert. Yeah, that's the one. Robert, you can just call me Monroe though. That's fine. He's been kind of just picking at his nails, cleaning them the whole while, meticulously, and looks incredibly bored with the whole trip. Only occasionally glancing up to scan everybody else.
Derek looks over from the window seat on one of the rows, and he's got kind of a kind of a dark suit on, tie, white shirt, curly light brown locks of hair, kind of shaved on the sides, and he's had pretty much a stern look on his face the whole time. Little fedora on his head, tilted sideways, and you notice he's had earplugs in, or he's been listening to something on his phone the entire time, and raises his eyebrows once you acknowledge him and takes one of the earplugs out there and
Let
says,
me reintroduce myself. I'm Kamini Amar.
"Ah, Kamini, how you doing? I'm Derek Masters."
It's a pleasure. And this was Monroe, she says, pointing to Monroe. And I don't think we caught your...
No, Alex Manson. It's the name.
Agent Manson. Manson, Masters, Monroe, Amar, she says, as if committing it all to...
Well, Sam's, huh?
Seems like it.
Derek leans up over the seat and offers his hand kind of awkwardly to shake Monroe's.
He kind of looks at your hand and kind of up at you, kind of almost squint-eyed before he puts his hand forward.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
So you guys been reviewing the case files?
Oh, fuck, yeah. Yeah, some shit with numbers, murders.
Obviously something they don't want us to know too much about. This file's a bit skimpy.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes, isn't it?
Honestly, I think it's for the best. Considering what he was up to, probably these, numbers be meaning something. Something that we, should know about.
Yeah, some weird stuff. Weird stuff in here. It's odd.
Well, weird or not weird, we have our orders, she says, looking down at the file. And it looks like a lot of it is going to be obfuscation. Even from the local authorities. I had an idea that we might start thinking about. Does anyone here have any experience with forging documents?
Monroe kind of scritches his chin a little bit. Not particularly. What do you have in mind?
Well, we don't know exactly what we're going to encounter while we're there. But since we need to get these out of the hands of not only anyone Way spoke to or communicated with, but the police also, they'll notice if something's missing. So I think that replacement might be something that we consider as our first go-to option. A different number, for instance.
Oh, so yeah. I mean, I don't know, personally. I'm kind of up for just burning whatever evidence is around and going from there. Really?
Well, sure, fire is always good, but there's always scanned copies of this or that.
Yeah, fucking goddamn computers nowadays. They fuck everything, don't they? Can't do anything discreetly anymore.
It is a shame. Well, if we don't have anyone with that particular skill set, do you all mind telling me a little bit about what your specialties might?
I guess. Though, I suppose you'll do the same, huh?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, well, let's just say I get in, I remove problems, and I get out. Aside from that, I'm just a useful guy.
Hmm. It sounds pretty close to what I'm doing. Uh,
And I like demo.
That can be an... I wonder if you happen to bring any, a toolbox with
Eh,
for that sort of thing.
yeah, would I have any kind of
No, you are
nothing
to play
yeah.
the part of FBI agents to the max. They wouldn't have supplied you with any demolition.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I mean, I got my lighter, right? But I'm special. And I mean, I don't know though. You never know what you can do with a lighter. It's pretty fucking scary.
Personally, I'd, if we can, rather avoid accidental death in terms of flames. Probably not
Well,
the best way to go about things, especially if we're trying to be a bit more stealthy with this kind of thing.
I mean, it depends, right? Fire can distract people quite a lot, you know.
What
It's
about
well,
you, Manson, then? What do you usually... how do you usually solve your problems?
Well, usually my problems involve infectious diseases, injured people, that kind of thing. Technically, doctor. Biology and microbiology, my specialties.
oh, that's interesting. You can tell Derek kind of perks up at that. You mean like
Yeah,
healing people and such?
I do have experience healing a person or two, some hands-on experience inside a few bodies.
yeah. Monroe kind of cringes away at that. Well, remind me not to piss you off. I
I
learned real
wouldn't
quick
prove it,
over the
darling.
years, don't piss off your doctors.
Well, that's very true, but don't you go worrying. The only time that I'll have any hands inside you is if maybe there's a bullet wound or you're cut open. Either way.
Well, remind me to thank my contact for including you on this mission. It doesn't always happen that you have someone with medical experience along.
Well, happy to be here. What about you, Amar? What do you do?
I'm a people person. Think I might have been selected because I have some experience with languages of China. If we happen to run into any family, that might be helpful. I'm usually good at assessing situations, noticing things. Really, I'm kind of an all-around adapter, might be the best way to put it. I can handle myself in a tight spot as well.
Oh, that's good to know.
Nice. I'm pretty good with locks. And I've always been a big fan of magic, making things disappear.
Good to know that we have a magician on board.
Sounds like we need to make a lot of things disappear for this mission.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it'll work out. We got the right kind of crew.
One thing that I'm wondering, maybe it'd be slightly easier since we are coming in as FBI. How hard do you think it might be to convince these local law enforcement that they need to make sure to hand over all that evidence to us as we're completely taking over the investigation? Some sort of national security or some sort of that.
Well, the primary thing that I usually use when speaking with local law enforcement is to convince them that this case is going to be a huge pain in the ass for them to handle.
Oh, that's a good idea. Now we're talking.
So almost make it seem like it's their idea. Although, obviously, it's not their idea, but something that they would not want to keep on their hands regardless. If anyone has any suggestions for that tactic or any other, I am all ears.
Well, you two have any ideas?
I don't know. Usually try not to get in a position where I have to tell anyone what I'm doing where I am. But usually I just shove kind of whatever badge or ID he does with air quotes in the face, and well, usually that gives him the picture.
That seems a little aggressive.
Yeah, well, I'm not a people person.
Sometimes locals can get a little territorial.
You do know that you'll have to be reporting to the local FBI district. There is a case manager in charge. His name is Special Agent Aiden Canner.
Is he in on this?
No, he is not. What you know about Special Agent Canor is a 15-year veteran of the FBI. He's assigned to the Garrett Mountain Resident Agency in Woodland Park, New Jersey, which is just outside Alliance. He has been the lead investigator of 9 investigations in the last 4 years, successfully prosecuting 6 of them. He's 47-year-old of mixed ethnicity, African American, tall and thin, and you have a picture of him. Steel-rimmed aviator glasses, and you know that he has 2 children in a nearby town in New Jersey. He's pretty straight-laced with no substantial dirt if bribery or some sort of blackmail is required. You also know that he is fairly easygoing, places a lot of trust in his agents, and he seems to get along with everyone. And that's really all you know about Agent Canor.
Reading more through the file, Amar comes to reading about Agent Kanar. Looks like we've got a real white hat here. We're going to have to tread softly here. I don't think that he's going to be susceptible to, workarounds. He seems to be a pretty by-the-book kind of a person.
Well, I think I'll let you folk do the talking. I'm not the best with people. Like I said, they just don't like me. But once we get to the part where we need to, move around quiet-like and get rid of some shit, and I can do my part.
I think another thing that we need to take into consideration is where exactly this Way lived. Whether it was like on campus, whether it was in a house somewhere alone, if he had roommates. Find any sort of cellular device, some sort of computer. He probably has got one. Maybe see if he can talk to his professors, any of the other students, anyone he's interacted with, get a list. Got to figure out exactly who he gave those numbers to, if anyone.
Professors, that's an excellent suggestion. Obviously, cell phone, priority number 1.
Yeah, you can also get maybe, if he's spoken to a professor, maybe if he's had a therapist of some kind. See when he started going downhill, if there was any sort of warning, anything like that. Really hoping that he maybe, well, part of me's hoping he had a roommate, part of me's hoping he didn't, because we'd probably have to deal with the roommate.
If he thought that he was dealing with anything that might be top secret or important in any way, he may have hidden something. We'll probably want to search his room.
Indeed.
Derek looks up from the files and have a grim look on his face. Damn asshole. Asshole killed the whole family, it looks like.
Yeah. Little girl included.
Yeah, one sick fuck, huh? Well, it happens. Shit goes
Well,
down, you never know. I'm wondering what the fuck brought them to do that kind of shit, though, you know? They said the numbers were fucking odd, but, you think they
Yeah,
had something to do with it?
it's
I
gotta
can't
be.
imagine they don't, right?
It's gotta be.
Mar shrugs. Maybe. I don't really see how.
You never know, there's some weird shit out there, right? I've read up on a few weird things over the years, and I don't know. It's kind of sketchy. Whenever you get, like, weird fucking stuff with numbers, there's always something funny going on, I tell you.
Yeah, I've read about the power of the number 3. It's all just mysticism and shit, but
Yeah. Wasn't there, like, a movie about that a while back?
I think it might be a good idea to not think too hard into these numbers. Just saying. I mean, they wanted us on this mission for a reason. I really don't reckon we should be looking into them
What,
too
you think
hard.
they're gonna, like, pop our heads open or something if we read too much of them?
I think maybe we might start scrawling numbers on the ground and killing those near us.
Huh. Well, fucking hell. I guess, yeah, sure.
Well, regardless, our job's to ignore it, and that's what I plan on doing. Now, we also need to somehow make this unpleasant individual seem appealing enough that the wife was having an affair with him.
Well, I mean, a lot of ways to do that. You don't necessarily have to make him all that appealing. Maybe make the husband look a bit less than appealing.
Hmm.
Give her a reason, right?
Right, and then find someplace they might have met and maybe come up with some photos that we can upload to the Facebook page, something like that. We might be able to get an FBI specialist to help.
Hmm.
I don't know about photos on Facebook. Usually if someone's trying to commit an affair, they're not posting all over.
Yeah, maybe if we can, like, find something of ours and, I don't know, put it in his place or vice versa.
Hmm, that's not a bad idea. Obviously, we're going to need to be talking to anyone who knew any surviving family members who might be local of that family.
Yeah. Maybe, poke and prod, right? Give him a few hints.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Just lay the groundwork for their own imaginations to fill in the blank.
yeah, I bet. How old's the lady? 40 something?
43.
Man.
43 is the new 33.
Huh.
Hmm. Maybe we can forge some sort of, I don't know, those hookup sites are fairly popular. See if we can take it
Excellent.
back.
Excellent idea. Do we have a picture of the family that was killed?
Yeah, there's pictures of the family with your case file.
Is the woman at all attractive?
Roll me a luck roll. Which way would you like it to be? That she's somewhat attractive?
Yeah, that she's somewhat attractive.
Okay, go ahead and give me a luck roll. Yeah, she's decent. For that old.
For that old, jeez.
I'm 41, so I got 2 years
I
to
know,
say
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
Well, we is like 20 something, but
Yeah.
he is,
Right.
however, very very stereotypical math PhD, straight nerd, right?
yeah.
Taking it wherever you can get it.
So it wouldn't be out of the realm of it wouldn't be a weird like somebody really attractive and somebody really unattractive. Both kind of average to below average.
Mm. So maybe she's having a midlife crisis.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, I like some of these ideas we've been throwing around. Obviously, we can't plan too much until no plan survives first contact, right?
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Kind of just smash and grab, right?
So we're gonna talk to the local law enforcement.
Seems like it.
I think we probably have to report into Agent Carter before we do anything.
Yeah, and about that
Carter.
time, the pilots call back. We're on our descent to Alliance. Please buckle up. And then they go off.
I'm
Hold
gonna be
on,
happy to be off
Manson.
this plane. Yeah, I'm gonna be
Hey.
happy to be off this plane.
Yeah, these small planes are a bit different.
Yeah, Monroe kind of buckles and looks out the window towards the wing. You ever wonder if, like those old cartoons about gremlins and stuff, right? Because, I mean, like, there's weird shit out there, right? What if those are, like, a thing? Maybe we just, use the cartoons and shit to cover them up. Make them seem like a joke.
Well, there's quite a few things that I wish weren't real in this world, and I don't know if I'd like gremlins to be one of the ones that are.
Yeah, little fuckers just get in there, like, tear the engines off the wing or some shit.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about this. We can talk about this on the ground. And Manson buckles up tightly and has her hands on her knees.
You, nervous flyer?
Yeah, I'm not a big flyer since came back from Africa.
Oh, you've been to Africa, huh? What you do over there?
Things you don't want to know.
Same here.
Alright, you guys got anything else to discuss before you land?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
The plane slowly, particularly to Manson's perspective, cuts through the clouds and begins to descend. Eventually you hear the as the wheels touch down and skid across the runway. Unlike a large jet, this plane comes to a halt fairly quickly, and the lights pop on as dusk is approaching outside, and one of the pilots walks back through the aisles and, "Welcome to Alliance, New Jersey." He kind of frowns and goes to the door and opens it up. "I'll have your bags in a moment," he says.
Manson's kind of the first one to unbuckle and get up from her seat. Ah, thank God.
Mars stands up and brushes off her suit. Kind of finger combs back her hair. Well, let's get off this bucket.
Derek gets up, makes sure everything's in his pockets, and tips his hat to the guy as he... Thank you, sir.
"No problem, Agent."
Monroe kind of follows laggily behind, kind of just gives the guy a nod before he steps out.
Did they say they were going to send a car to meet us?
"Didn't say."
Mara steps out and starts looking around for anyone holding a sign or anyone who looks like they might be waiting for them.
You do walk out and you notice there are there's one car there and 3 people standing there. One has a clearly a camera, a large camera on his shoulder, and with a light that projects forward. And then there's another man standing there with some sort of clipboard in his hand, writing something, and then talking into also with a phone, doing like almost dictation. And then a man steps forward with a microphone. Here we are, Enrico Save from the Newark Star Ledger, and here we have, I believe this is FBI agents come here to the Ridgeway murders. Is that right? And he looks at Amar particularly, and he walks up to you and kind of points the microphone into your face. Please tell me, what do you know so far about the Ridgeway murders?
I'm sorry, Mr. Save. We can't speak to you about an ongoing investigation. And she starts looking around for an exit someplace, a car or something. But she gives him a smile.
Okay, so... One sec. Go ahead and roll me a luck roll. So that's a success. He smiles and says, well, anything you can tell us, the people of New Jersey, and particularly here in Alliance, New Jersey, deserves to know. They deserve to know the truth. If there was some cult or Satanists or something crazy like that that this Michael Way was involved in, the people must know. He kind of begins to badger you a little bit.
Oh, doesn't that all seem a bit far-fetched? She says. And again, just keeps looking around.
Yeah, meanwhile, Monroe is like kind of grabbing his bags and stuff and making to slip past while he's busy with Amar.
Derek is gonna light a cigarette and he'll walk up there and try to help her out a little bit. Sir, as soon as we know something, maybe you'll know something too.
He looks at your badge and says, very well, Agent Masters. But if there's anything you could tell me, I would really appreciate it, just so to let the people be safe tonight and take the worry from them, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I think we all know that the perpetrator is beyond being able to harm anyone else. And everyone here can sleep quite soundly knowing that. And what network were you with?
I'm with the Star Ledger.
Ah, I see. Do you have a card?
I do, of course. And he produces it and passes it out. KRDO.
All right, then. I'll keep this where we can find it easily. And she puts it in her pocket. But we really need to be going. We just got in, and obviously we need to report to our superiors.
Well, I just came from there. I think they're holed up at the local Motel 6, if you can believe it.
Is that far from here?
Oh, a couple miles. And as he says that, a car, black sedan, pulls up, and a man peeks his head out and yells, Enrico! And he walks forward. He's got like a smile on his face. Bugging our new agents, are you? And he has a badge on, an FBI badge as well, but it doesn't match the description of Canor.
Amar will stride forward. Agent Gant, I'm afraid you're not who we expected to see. I'm Agent Amar.
Agent Amar, welcome to Alliance. Got a real shit show here. And he looks at Enrico. We can talk more about it in the car.
I think that would be preferable to talking about it out here, certainly. Looks like this is our ride. And she gets into the car, shotgun.
Yeah, Monroe is kind of, by the time everyone kind of gets over to it, he's already like opening the door after Gant gets out pretty much. Realizing once he sees the badge.
Manson jogs over quickly, finishing her smoke before throwing it on the ground and hopping into the car as well, adjusting her hair and giving a nod to Agent Gaunt. Pleasure.
He nods. As you're going, the reporter yells, "Just remember to call me if anything comes up."
Derek waves to him and throws a cigarette down, steps on it, and gets into the car.
You get into the car, switch a scene. You enter the car. And Gant is driving. It's kind of a tight squeeze with all 5 of you. He goes, "Well, how did you get mixed up in all this?" he says, driving. "Not sure why they thought they needed to bring in even more help. None of you are mathematics experts. She's already here."
Ah, and who is your mathematics expert?
Oh, New York sent down a special agent. I think she's a computer programmer. Sarah Comics.
Sarah Comics. I
Sounds
see.
familiar.
Well, we each have skills I think they thought might be helpful in this situation. I'm a linguistics expert, for instance, and I might be able to interpret anything or any communication with the Way family that was necessary.
Oh, I see. The Ways are in California, I think. He just
I
shrugs.
see.
It's pretty odd, this whole thing. Some guy walks up to a random family, kills them all, doesn't seem to know them. Not that we've found yet, but of course, just happened this morning, so he kind of shrugs.
I'm sure there's a connection that we just haven't found yet. I understood that we were going to be meeting Special Agent Kanal.
Oh, yeah. I'll run you over to the Motel 6 where they have us held up. That's where he is. He was
Oh, I
busy
see.
talking to Special Agent Comics, probably. He asked me to come grab you.
Well, I'm glad you did.
That little twerp's been hanging around the hotel just trying to get any information he can. Been trying to sick the locals on him, but he's a tenacious little bastard.
Well, how much information you got so far? Guys giving him anything?
I don't know that I've got anything more than you've been briefed on. Yeah, we've been through the Wee apartment. Not much there. Just a bunch of math shit. Been through the Ridgeway house, obviously. Just a bunch of dead people. It's not really... It's kind of strange. The only thing I know is the shotgun, well, it appears to be out of the New York PD.
Really?
Any weapons reported missing?
No, they don't report anything missing, but I've got the details of the gun. I can give it to you when we get there. Shotgun. one of those 1950s variety. Like I say, it was supposed to be at the in New York there. I can't recall what precinct off the top of my head. I've got it all written down.
How are the locals? What's their temperament with this? Are they resentful of our federal help, or are they happy to have us
Oh
here?
fuck no! They're happy. They don't want anything to do with this. Police chief is Upton Weeks. I think he's just looking to retire. He doesn't want anything to do with this crap.
Well, that's good.
He drives for not too long, maybe 10 minutes with traffic, and then pulls up to a hotel. Pulls out to the apartment, or the parking lot, I should say. One sec. He opens the door and gets out, stretches for a moment, and as you're all getting out, he just kind of waves. And he's like, Canor is holed up in 135. I'll take you there. Come on.
Uncle Sam, always so generous with the accommodations.
I think it can be a little quaint.
Well,
If you call bedbugs quaint.
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Oh no, I was hoping that would be a joke.
Well, that's a joke that most people have been saying. This place, I mean, Alliance is nothing but 2 stoplights and a couple Burger Kings, if you know what I mean. Tiny little shit place.
Well, lead the way.
He does. Oops. Knocks on the door. As he does, you hear someone inside say, "Come in." And Canor, who you recognize from a dossier, is sitting at a little small desk, working on a laptop. Gant says, "Agent Canor, here are the special assignees from headquarters." He turns, stands up. Nice to meet you. I've read each of your dossiers. Hopefully we can figure this out and close this case in a couple days, and I'll go home. Walks over and proceeds to shake each of your hands.
Shakes it quite firmly. Just, half smile and nod. His whole demeanor's kind of shifted since he got out of the plane. Much less relaxed, much more orderly and prim and proper almost.
So, he sits back down on the edge of the bed because there's a lack of seats in here. Take a seat if you can find one. Frowns. Anyway, so you've read everything, I'm guessing. I usually let my agents kind of give them a little free hand. What do you think your first order of business will be here? Would you like to see the Ridgeway house, the Way apartment?
Do you happen to have his cell phone and his cell phone records? Or have they come through yet?
Cell phone records have not come through yet. The cell phone, we found it. It is literally a flip phone. He kind of laughs.
Really?
Yeah, the guy was a bit of a recluse. Not surprising.
Well, would you mind if we still had a look at it? I'd like to get the last numbers dialed.
Sure. I believe Agent Comics has it. Hasn't been it's been cataloged but not sent anywhere until the investigation is closed. Keep it here. Take it to the office maybe tomorrow.
Did Mr. Way have a notebook or anything he carried around?
Oh, you should see his apartment. It is literally a mess of papers. We haven't messed with anything yet until you got here. His computer's there, and all the papers. It's all a bunch of gibberish. Math stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be maybe a good place to start then. I mean, there's 4 of us here. You can start wading through it. No, it's gonna be a slog if it's only, 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
And so,
He kind of sighs. I'd take Agent Dr. Comics with you. She's good with that math stuff, obviously. That's why she's here.
She look at anything else, yet?
Well, she's been through the scene and taken pretty detailed notes and pictures of everything.
Perfect.
Any insights from your math expert?
Oh, not yet.
Oh.
She's still working on it.
We could ask her.
Yeah, she's in the room next door, I think.
Well, maybe we'll pop in and say hello.
Sure, if you need anything from me, let me know. You should have all the addresses for the Wee apartment and the Ridgeway estate. Anyway, the car Agent Gant picked you up with, that's yours. Feel free to use it as you need.
oh, excellent.
Thank you very much.
I think maybe just get our room keys so that we don't have to bother people late at night if we're late getting back.
Sure. He walks over and grabs 2 sets of keys. They got you bunked up, you know how it is. Tosses Monroe one set and Manson the other. They're adjoining rooms, right next to each other. They're not connected, but I'll probably be knocking off here in the next few hours. So if you got anything for me, just let me know before I hit the hay.
Gotcha.
Unless you find
Make sure
something,
it's
of course, then
informed.
wake me up all means.
Masters will tip his hat to him and, well, thank you, sir. Where's Sarah at, you say?
Oh, next door. Room 136.
Well done. You have a good evening, Special Agent.
You 2 agents. He nods. Gant, why don't you stay behind and lend me a hand with this? He nods. Of course, Special Agent. And you head outside where those 2 are staying behind to work on probably some logistical stuff.
Well, might as well go in and drop off our things.
Oh, that's a good idea. I don't want to just be lugging these around everywhere.
While Derek's following behind them, he's gonna program these locations into his phone, to his GPS.
Yeah, you have the GPS locate. You can easily get the GPS coordinates, longitude and latitude.
Agent Manson, I hope you don't mind my asking. I really prefer to not have smoking in the room.
Don't worry, I fully understand the health effects of secondhand smoke. I'll make sure to be going outside.
She winks at you and says, honestly, it's just getting the smell out of my hair that bothers me.
Yeah. And she kind of looks somewhere up and down. Yeah, you got quite a bit.
As Agent Masters is walking behind them, messing with his phone, he pauses for a minute and tries to hide the fact that he's kind of overwhelmed by a little bit of pain at the moment, and trying to keep his balance, leans up against the wall for a second, and trying to regain composure. But he's going to try to hide that fact from everybody else if he can.
Okay, let's see here. Let's roll something. Why don't you roll...
Stealth.
Maybe a stealth thing.
Sure, stealth. Go ahead. And then everybody else can roll human intuition.
I'm not humans.
I was hoping it would be alertness. I
Wow.
can't do it.
Bad roll.
He's not particularly.
No, I mean, just kind of like his, like the way he's acting, more than just like some physical, act, I would say. And so, no one notices, you don't think.
All right, nice. And he'll pop a pill and chew it up and shake it off and try to follow them again.
You have your rooms to talk. You notice there's a few people outside, and as you kind of are getting ready to go in, you're approached by a uniformed officer. He kind of just waves and walks towards you. Hi, I'm Officer Blanet. You're the agents with the program, right?
Yes, we are.
Yes, sir. You got something for us?
Well, my contact told me to help you in any way I can, so I don't have anything specific for you, but if you need anything from me, I'm here to help.
Excellent.
Sure.
Some of it might be. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask for his card, so we have his number. So
Yeah, of course. Pulls out his card, 4 of them actually, and passes one to each of you.
Kind of looks it over. Yeah, well, I can't think of a lot at the moment, but I could use some coffee, I guess. If you're making a run.
Kind of. Yeah, no, that's not really what I had in mind, Agent Monroe.
Yeah, you said if we needed anything, so...
Roll me a persuade.
Holy fucking shit!
Alright, fine. There's a Starbucks not far. You wanna Vimeo me, or...
What the fuck is that?
Well, do you have some money?
Oh, I thought you were buying it. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. He'll kind of pull out some cash and hand it to
He
him.
smiles. Let me guess, you want some Frappuccino nonsense, huh?
Actually, Manson goes into her own hands. Officer Blanette some money. Actually, can I get a Frappuccino? I'd actually really like that.
Well, no problem.
Yeah,
No problem. He
a Bentley
smiles.
would be great.
No, it's no problem for the ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me some, I don't fucking know, something with espresso in it.
Alright. How about you, Agent? And he leans forward. Masters?
Oh, no thanks, officer. I'm fine.
Okay, cool. I'll be back around. About a half an hour. If there's anything you really need, about the mass murder that just happened, I can help with that too.
If the PD has any idea how their shotgun got into Ray's hands, that would certainly be information we're interested in.
You would have to talk to New York PD for that.
Other thing is if maybe any of your boys or women got any pictures themselves, anything they're keeping.
Well, we have the pictures that were taken for the first the crime scene investigator, the CSI, when they got there. I can duplicate those for you, or you can come into the station and take a look.
I'd maybe, if possible, get this duplicated first. We'll see if we need to come in and check them out further, but getting some dupes of those would be mighty helpful there.
Sure. Need to get some for Special Agent Kanar anyway.
I think you can.
I'll run and grab this coffee and then head to do that, unless you got anything else for me.
Well, just keep in mind that efficiency is always a priority with the FBI, and so anything should probably only go through us, and we'll pass it on to our superior so that he's not working with duplicate copies of duplicate copies, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, of course. Whatever agents from the program need, I'm here. And you guys know he's talking about Delta Green, right? He's your friendly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll certainly think about it once we go over things a bit more. I'm sure we'll find something for you.
All right.
Most definitely, Officer Planet.
Sounds good. All right. 3 frappuccinos. He turns around and walks back to his patrol car.
And a
Yeah.
poppy seed muffin.
Yep, frappuccino and everything bagel. Gotcha.
Yeah.
He turns around and walks back to his car.
This guy's probably higher ranking than us in the Delta Green, right?
No, you would know that he is technically not an agent. He's just somebody that they let know, like, the bare minimum to help.
Okay.
He's an asset.
Yeah.
That'd be funny as hell.
Monroe's
Oh,
first
he's
thought,
gonna be a
we
dick
gotta
one."
go for nice. I need some coffee.
Alright, so what would you guys like to do? It is probably about 5 or 6 p.m.
Yeah. I think after dropping our stuff off, we were headed over to Sarah Comics.
Yeah, and we're gonna be doing it's gonna be Derek and Robert in one room, right?
You guys split it up however you want.
If there's 2 smokers, that might work out better.
Hey,
Actually, yeah.
I was gonna say there's probably 3, right? Judging from the character.
Are you?
There's 3 people smoking. I forgot
Mark-
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark gets
Well-
her own room.
You can all stay together.
Somebody can sleep on the shitty couch that's too small.
smokes, and Alex smokes, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So we can have a smoking room and then a non-smoking
Yeah.
room.
Just
You can come
inside.
over.
Kamini is very happy to have her room.
Just
Time to turn on the jets and have a bubble bath.
Yeah, at the Motel 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure that's
Jets.
Yeah, I'm not sure those are jets.
The box
What's in the
fan
bathtub?
Yeah.
dangling. All right, so what is your plan?
Yeah, let's go talk to Sarah.
Okay. You walk over to Sarah's room and knock, and you hear some. Yes. Come in.
Manson will open the door up and poke her head inside.
You poke your head inside, and you see this very bookish woman. She has 2 laptops set up on a table and another laptop on the bed. and she's like barely looks up. Oh, yeah. What do you need? What do you need? I'm busy.
We came to see if you had uncovered anything new that Special Agent Kanar hadn't heard, and to retrieve the cell phone.
Well, yeah, sure. Cell phone is in a bag, and she looks around, and the room is kind of a mess. And she walks over, and there's a box in the corner, and she reaches down and grabs it and kind of tosses it over to the bed. There it is, just an old an old rumor, if you can believe it. And she sits down and starts just pounding away at the keyboard again.
Special Agent Comics, is it?
Yes. Dr. Comics or Agent Comics, whichever you prefer to. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Can you
nice to
tell
meet
us-
you.
Can you guys
Can-
say that again?
Oh,
Oh,
I said
go
nice
ahead.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. She doesn't ask who you are or what your name is. She seems totally enthralled with her computer.
Derek will walk over and kind of introduce himself and like try to get a look at what she's working on and just be like, Agent Masters, did you come up with anything in the notes or with the numbers? What's with the numbers?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just trying to decide. He had a lot of notes at his apartment. I've got it all here. Yeah, I've backed up his hard drive, and so I have all the information here. Yeah. So, and you look, and it's just a spreadsheet of numbers, and she's flipping. She's like alt-tabbing in between various screens, and they're all just equations and math-related stuff, which is well over your head. You guys can do a human int, a medicine, or a psychotherapy roll if you wish.
Okay. Human int. Medicine.
Wait, oh.
Or psychotherapy.
I'll go with the first one that is 10 out of my like 3 things that are 10.
Yeah.
So for Manson and Amar, you're realizing that she appears to be extremely stressed, and you can see her brow is, starting to sweat, and she just looks very, very tense and uptight. You can see the muscles in her neck strain.
Agent Comox. And she tries to make eye contact with her.
Yes, she turns and looks up very briefly before looking back at the computer. And I'm really busy.
I understand, but I need to confirm that you are storing all of your notes and data locally. We can't have this transmitted wirelessly.
Oh, of course.
Obviously, or stored on any online servers. This needs to only be kept on your local device.
Oh, of course. These laptops are. What's the air? What is that term? Yes. All the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, not enabled on these laptops. I'll take them in and copy them off to the central hard drive in the office once we're done here. Don't worry. I've done this many times before.
All right.
Yeah. And you have the original, yeah?
The original what?
Computer notes all.
Oh no! All that was kept there. I copied everything. Agent Canner wanted to leave everything there so you could see it firsthand. Right now, I am working off a duplicate hard drive. All his information is here. I'm just working off that. I wonder if you could. Is it okay if you came back tomorrow? I really have a lot of work to do tonight.
It's very understandable, Agent Comics. Manson kind of walks up to her and kind of looks her over, looking at the sweat on her forehead. I do gotta say, it's not the most healthy to be pushing yourself like this. Usually pushing yourself like this leads to some very ill side effects, maybe some errors within the actual investigation itself. You don't want any errors, do you?
Oh, I'll be fine. I'll get some rest. I mean, it's only what time is it? Like 6 or 7? I'll be fine. And she kind of like ticks her head. I'll be fine. I just have a lot of work to do. This is very, very complicated stuff. Very complicated.
Of course, very, very complicated. It's definitely way above my pay grade, that kind of thing. Only thing is, I've seen this in many other agents, Agent Comics. This type of thing, you think you can handle it, but girl, I gotta be frank. The way you're running right now, even though it's only 7 o'clock, usually people at this point, about 90% of them, they're gonna be making mistakes. And as you said, it's fairly complicated.
I'll take a pizza break. I promise, Agent. Don't worry. I know. I'm tired. I'll get some rest. I'll get a good 6 hours. Don't worry.
How about this? You and we're gonna go get some pizza and take that pizza break now, alright?
Oh man, give me a persuasion. This is going to be a hard roll. No, I am here to. I'm here to do this. These numbers could be important to the investigation. I have to stay on task and get this. I'll get the pizza, I'll order it, and I'll just eat it in my room. I'm not much one for socializing anyway. I'm sorry.
Well, sure, but keep in mind, Way is dead. He's not going anywhere. You have all the time in the world, really, to figure this out, so don't push yourself too hard.
I won't. Like I say, I'll take a break here in a few minutes and get some sleep. It's okay. But gotta ask you to leave, okay? I'm sorry.
Do I see her key card anywhere in the room? I'm deliberately looking around while we're having this conversation.
It's just on the desk over there by the phone. For the room, you mean? You talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
for this room,
Yep,
yes.
it's over there on the...
Okay, so while this is happening, I'm going to nudge Masters with my elbow and then, kind of gesture with my head, look directly at that key card.
Derek nods. He, in the beginning, at first, he didn't realize, what was going on. And then with Alex's constant questioning of her medical, intuition and stuff like that, he kind of catches on. And he was actually starting to look around for Agent Comics' weapon, and as well to see if what the state of her room was in and everything like that.
It's
So
messy. This is a very messy room. Her sidearm is actually, you see it. Some people sometimes travel with a little. It's like a little case, like a hand case almost. And the weapon's not even out of that. You don't see it in a holster anywhere, so you assume it's just in the box still. She doesn't look like she knows much about shooting anything.
So he, Derek, notices what Kamini's doing and nods and starts to walk over in that direction while hopefully they've got her attention and stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead and give me a stealth roll, a trivial stealth roll.
As he does that, obviously we're going to try, or at least I would try to stand directly in her line of
Yeah. It should
Is there
be hard to fail.
any way to grant bonuses? Or
So
like,
when I say
give
if you look at the rolls, this would be a bonus, right? So I'm saying a trivial stealth roll, so it's going to be a plus 40 to your target number.
okay.
Oh, and it's a good thing it was.
Damn.
Yeah, you could have only failed on a fumble. So, yeah, although you're not very sneaky about it because you step on a bunch of junk on the floor, like wadded up clothes, you're able to snatch the key card without her noticing. She's just too focused on the computers, and the last thing she even wants to do is look at you guys.
Right. Thanks to their diversion as well and all that. He'll take the key card and slip it into his jacket, and he'll start walking towards the door. Well, Agent Comics, you take that break soon. Get some rest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, once we find out more about, if we find anything else in the Way apartment, we'll let you know right away.
Yep. Okay. See you later. Bye.
Amara will walk out and stand outside the door, waiting for everybody else.
Yeah, kind of shuffles out, kind of looking the broom over one last time, kind of squinting at the lady before he kind of turns to Amar. Kind of shakes his head like, man, that's fucking weird.
And Manson comes out and lights up another cigarette, taking a drag before exhaling away from Amar and downwind from her and looking to the three. Well, suffice to say, and pardon my French, but she's fucked.
Yeah, fuck, we gonna get rid of her. Huh?
Well, I don't know if we need to do that. Maybe we just need to bring her some coffee. One of our the clumsiest among us maybe just needs to bring her some coffee after we've had a chance to get the original from the Way apartment.
Get a large magnet.
Ah, that would be more subtle, and she wouldn't understand how it happened.
Yeah, well, they said she's good with computers, right?
Those numbers might be messing with her head.
Means she's a problem. Means she's seen him.
Yeah, one way or another, she knows them. The whole point of this operation is to make sure nobody knows them. So
What about putting something in her coffee, make her fall asleep or something?
it's not going to get rid of the numbers out of her head, I don't think.
I had some dental work done. I don't remember what the name of the drug was. Manson, you might. They called it a post-hypnotic. You don't remember anything that happened within the past 24 hours after taking it. And so I don't like going to the dentist. I don't even like to remember going to the dentist. And that was something that they offered. It's a real thing.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, I mean, I'm no dentist, but we could try and acquire some, I guess. Gotta do it fast.
I got some pain medication.
Wow.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah, you see Monroe's kind of like gone through the kind of notes that he has taken out of like his dossier and everything and like folded up in his pocket basically, and he kind of pulled the paper and he's looking over and so we got a report on at least.
Can you guys give me a I think it's awareness.
Sure.
Alertness? Or...
Yeah, alertness. Yeah.
so alert.
So those with a normal success,
Everybody but me.
you notice that peeking out of the door, he looks like he wasn't like trying to be particularly stealthy, but you're outside like talking. He's like, "What are you guys talking about?" And he kind of walks over to you. I heard you talking about medications. There, you find something? We was on some meds, make him go crazy.
Oh. We were just discussing that distinct possibility, and his behavior was extremely unusual. And there's usually a connection to drugs.
Yeah, didn't find anything in the apartment. Why don't you give me a, there has to be some sort of deceit, yeah?
Oh, there's disguise. I think they kind of shoved everything into persuade. 'Cause I know that's what you use for like torture and intimidation as well. Which is why Monroe has it.
Right. Let's see. That might be fine.
It's been a while since I've gone over it.
It seems like it.
Yeah, I don't see anything else.
Yeah, what's this? Yeah, go ahead and give persuade.
Oof.
Yeah, oh,
It's what I...
yeah, he nuts. Alright, well, if you find anything, like I say, nothing was there. Autopsy's not done on the body. I mean, he kind of shrugs. Clear death is a headless way, but see if his toxicology report comes back, and if he was on anything, I'll let you know.
Good. Well, we're headed over to the way place right now, I think, right? Do we need a key to the way place?
Oh, there should be some officers outside keeping watch.
Great. What about a vehicle?
Yep, Agent Canor said you could use the sedan I picked you up in. He takes the keys out of his pockets and passes them over.
Derek kind of eyes Grant for a minute, and he just says, Agent Grant, could you keep an eye on her?
Huh? What do you mean?
She seems a little overworked, you know? Make sure she gets some rest or something.
Yeah, she'll be fine. Nerdy types, you know. Never see any
Yeah,
field
true that.
duty. Just sit behind a computer. Kind of shrugs.
I'm sure she's fine.
All right, then. Thanks, Grant. Or Gant. Sorry.
I think we'll be heading over to the way place now. We'll let you know if you find anything new.
Yeah, you won't, but, yeah, whatever. He turns around and walks back in to his room.
Is it just Amar's imagination, or does he seem kind of pissy? Like, he doesn't like us here.
You could do a human int.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, too. Like,
Dick.
Monroe's just like fade to the background every time there's anyone proper official around.
Well, maybe not. Maybe I can't tell.
Yeah, I mean, just as it seems, right? He's definitely short with you. You don't sense any specific irritation. Just kind of, as it's role played, right? I mean, that's obvious, but you don't sense any underlying problems. But he doesn't
Okey-dokey.
seem like too rah-rah that you're around, that's for sure.
And so, who's gonna drive?
I got a
Amar-
nice driver. Well, I got 50 on drive.
There you go.
Amar slips into the shotgun seat.
And since it's behind the driver's seat.
Monroe kind of slides in afterwards.
You know,
Should I make
Alice.
a roll? Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was gonna say, I was thinking, instead of going to the Y place, and also maybe we should stick to speaking in the car. Um, maybe we should quickly run over to the Ridgeway place, of Dina's Unmentionables, in order to bring it
Ah,
back to the place.
I love that idea. Also, I'd like to get some
Oh, our
photos of...
coffee!
Oh,
Oh
our
yeah.
coffee. We need our coffee.
Yeah, we gotta wait a bit, huh?
You guys are waiting around as you're kind of talking about the coffee. Waiting around outside the car. You see the patrol car pull up, and Officer Blanet arrives. He's got like one of those drink carriers, and to Monroe's probably chagrin, one of those box of bagels. He walk,
No
he
cream
walks,
cheese.
yeah, and it's like he's got the schmear on top. You know how they put the box has a special place where they can sit the schmear in. He walks over and, oh yeah, here's your frappuccinos and your everything bagels. I got some onion and chive schmear. That's my favorite.
Huh. Yeah, that'll work, I guess.
And
That'll work, I guess.
Oh, fucking hell.
So Amar will take her coffee and give him a kind of a sultry look and say, well, thank you. That's really going above and beyond. I know that this isn't your job, but it was a long flight. We really do appreciate it.
Well, no problem. No problem. I know that, investigating these crazy things, you got to keep yourself well caffeinated and well fed.
where's mine at?
You didn't ask for it.
I'm just messing with you, Planet.
Oh, that's funny. Well, there's plenty of bagels. You can eat 2 of those, maybe.
Yeah. Another thing, right? We're gonna go do some things. Could you do me a favor and get in contact with the higher-ups, Let them know Miss Kamax or whatever it is, she's been getting a bit deep, huh?
I think we can
Who?
do that there, Monroe.
Who? Oh, the computer lady.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll call my contact and tell them.
I think we're going to be able to handle it ourselves without any additional interference. But
Well, I can
just
go
in case.
check up on her and see how she's doing.
Also, Officer Blanet, if possible, them their toxicology reports, how long does it usually take for one to be processed?
Oh, they can get it done in 48 hours, I would say. This is the Fed's coroner, though, not ours, so I don't have access to any of that stuff.
Well, do you have maybe some access to any, maybe some sort of drugs that might be in lockup, stuff that's already processed, stuff that no one's gonna miss?
Oh, sorry, I can't do that. That could get me in trouble, lose my pension and all that. I told my contact I can't do anything illegal. So yeah, I can't do that. Sorry.
Well, what about, I'm sure as a local, you know the local dealers.
I do. I know of some. What are you looking for? And I can maybe...
Derek actually has a little bit of a chemistry skill and some pharmaceutical skills.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way I would know exactly the medication she's talking about?
Go ahead and roll on whichever one that
Yeah, do
you...
you mind if I roll pharmacy as well?
Go ahead.
Cool.
Fucking hell.
Excellent.
Nice. You know exactly what it is.
So you describe, yeah, both masters
Rufy
and
would probably do
mains,
it
and
too.
yeah, and anybody who, that's pretty weird. I don't know of anybody who would sell that kind of stuff. Sorry, that's
Derek will look for a local dentist office or something, maybe.
I mean, you
On
would
his
be able to
phone.
find that easy, yeah.
It's party time.
Anyway, I don't really need to know any more about drugs, but if there's anything else you need that is legal, you just let me know. And hopefully with the case and not coffee.
Alright, we'll make sure to let you know.
All right, well, you got my card. I'll be around. I'll see you later.
Thanks for your help, officer.
Yep, see ya. And he walks back to his car and gets in and eats a bagel.
Derek turns from the driver's wheel and, well, what if we go to the dentist and maybe procure those for ourselves?
Yeah, we may want to wait till a bit later, right?
Right.
Yeah, the dentist
right.
office is probably closed for the night. It's 7 p.m.
I'll just start Googling sedation dentists locally, because that'll be who has it.
Okay.
We'll at least locate a few.
Make sure to turn on incognito.
Okay, so also let's start looking through the phone, the rumor, finding some phone numbers, see if we can do some reverse searches on that.
Manson started looking through the texts earlier.
Yeah.
Yep. Did you get my whisper about that?
Oh, that's what you were referring to. Okay. Yeah, so she kind of, nothing seemingly important. So nothing regarding anything, no numbers, no crazy things that he's messaged them.
Well,
Any long conversations?
There are several long conversations. They're all with who you know as his mother or his sister. There's no long conversations with anybody else in the in his phone.
All right. Well, at some point we'll definitely have to call the mother and the sister and make sure that he didn't mention anything to them.
Yeah, call history as well. That's
Yeah, very similar to the text history, mostly mom and sister. Nothing actually after, nothing the day of the murders. No text, no phone calls the day of the murders. Today, basically.
gotcha.
And the only thing from yesterday is 2 texts to his mom early in the day. Don't seem related, and no phone calls the previous day either.
Okay. Well, let's go into that, what is it now? The, Ridgeway house.
yeah.
Let's also get some photographs of Mrs. Ridgeway, so that if we need to create that profile you were talking about, we've got something to put on.
Good idea. Anyone here actually good with computers?
Well, I don't think we'd be on the case if we did, right?
That
I
was
think
more...
we can...
Sorry, what was I saying?
You go ahead.
I think that was more mathematics than anything.
Guess so. But nah, not particularly.
I know how to turn one on.
I think we can figure out how to create a Tinder profile. judging by some of the people who are on there, it shouldn't take much intelligence.
It's just maybe dating back to when the actual profile was created is the only thing.
Yeah, you might wanna figure that out. Like I thought, right, we could do something with the text, right? Make it seem like there's something, but they probably would have already seen it by now. Same thing with the profile, right? And if the kid doesn't use a proper phone, then I doubt he'd have really those kind of things, right?
Unfortunately, I think he would need some sort of smartphone to access it. I don't know if there's, well, I guess there's like, eHarmony, but I don't think people are looking for hookups on that kind of thing.
You never know. There's some weird fuckers out there.
Well, I'm sure Agent Comox could accomplish what we need, but I don't know how we would convince her to do it.
Yeah, well,
Actually, if we are able to get any of these drugs, we may very well be able to convince her to do several things before she passes out. From what I understand and from what my sister videotaped, well, my mother videotaped, I would have done a lot of things when I was on that drug.
yeah,
Right.
well, judging from the issues with our old friend Gaunt or whatever it was back there, we might want to be a bit careful, seeing as the whole building is full of, well, FBI agents and all that.
Mm-hmm. Gaunt does seem unfriendly. Maybe if we're doing anything delicate in Agent Kamox's room, one of us will be in charge of distracting.
Yeah, well, for now, I guess we find some interesting things.
Plant some panties.
Yeah, maybe some, I don't know. Maybe send some nudes. I don't know what else she might have.
You guys finally roll up to the house as you're talking. Outside there are yellow tape wide around the home. In front, you see the numbers spray painted on the road. That 9920.2299899212.333. And then you see a body outline nearby, two of them in fact.
So that number is just facing
It's literally
where anyone can see.
it's just on the ground. On the road, actually, right by the, and it's all like tapered off, and then there's of course two police officers standing nearby.
That number.
Oh, well, that's something we're going to have to get rid of ASAP.
That number.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a problem. Is it like how was it on there? Was it
It's
like
spray painted.
Spray painted. Okay, yeah.
Amar will approach the officers. Hello, officers. How are you guys doing today?
One second. One of them turns to you, and it's a female officer, and she nods, looking down at your badge. Agent Amar. Pretty good. Just sitting out here, keeping the nosy people away. Finally, the reporters left. Give me 1 second. I need to pull out a token.
This number is on the street?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so the flies are already closing in. I assume that you were not able to prevent those reporters from getting some photos of from the street.
Oh gosh, they've been taking pictures all day.
Did you happen to notice any of the reporters taking a special interest in anything about the house or the street, anything in particular?
Oh, not really. Mostly, they like to take pictures of the chalk outlines, of course.
Well, continue to do what you can to keep them off the property, and I think maybe we should work to obscure some of these evidentiary items that are in plain sight.
Obscure how? With a tarp or something?
Well, for now, a tarp will do.
She kind of looks. I'm not sure. Won't that possibly contaminate the scene?
Well, the crime scene analysts have already been here.
They have, but there's still open investigation.
Well, it's fairly typical to use tarps in case of inclement weather, which you never know is going to happen. So I think it'll be fine.
Go ahead and give me a luck roll.
What is the weather like right now?
Very, very clear skies, apparently.
Nope.
Yeah, let me, I'll call my boss and see what he says. I don't think it's supposed to rain. She takes out her phone and looks at the weather report. No. Dry tonight, dry tomorrow. Anyway, you going inside?
Yes, we are.
It's, pretty ghastly in there, I have to warn you.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Alright. And she pulls up the tape so you can walk underneath and through.
As we kind of get away from the others, are they still following us into the house?
No, they're
or,
just standing outside.
like when we're alone.
Yeah.
Masters will mention that. How the hell are we gonna get that damn number off the street?
Well, maybe a hose somewhere. I don't know. That's gonna be tricky.
Why don't
Maybe
you
spill
all give me a
something
luck
over it.
roll while you're at it, too?
Hey.
Okay, so Monroe is the only one that failed. Okay, continue.
Well, and obviously we need to, I mean, maybe we can pay some kid to spray paint over it, but
Yeah,
the press has been here and they've been taking photos, and I suspect that Enrico Save fellow might have already gotten some photographs. Gosh, it's like...
that's gonna be pretty interesting.
Yeah, trying to contain some of this
We're
big.
gonna have to get to it before they air any kind of
Mhm.
stories showing it, right? Because at that point it's kind of over.
Containment is turning out to be a major pain in the ass.
I think that's gonna have to be the priority.
If we
Right.
can't get to it, perhaps we can convince him to hold back photographs on the promise of some exclusive information until we can get to it.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Maybe we could lead it to somewhere entirely different. Perhaps maybe that number is significant to whatever we want, really.
Could be. maybe
Right.
significant to something the two of them shared, Way and Ridgeway.
Ah,
And perhaps we can convince him that the number is actually a slightly different number.
Yeah, he might know who has pictures as well, right? Amongst the other stations or whatever.
It's a pretty
As
small
well.
town. Hopefully, she crosses her fingers. We only have
Yeah.
this one to deal with.
You know that doesn't work, right? You gotta knock on wood.
Yeah, she reaches out and knocks on something. Better?
Yeah.
Are you heading inside?
Oh yeah, I'm assuming we
Okay,
were
yep,
inside when
yeah,
we were having
understood.
this
Yep,
conversation.
You're all good. You walk through the house and you see you see various chalk outlines of many people killed. The home is in a state of disarray with blood to splatter everywhere. As you reach the kitchen, it just there's two dead. Things like brain matter and stuff is everywhere where the bodies have been taken away, however.
Do we know what Mrs. did for a living?
She was a homemaker.
And how close is this to the Way apartment?
Way lived in at Columbia University, so it's half an hour away.
Okay.
how are they killed?
Shotgun. All of them shot with a shotgun.
That same shotgun.
Manson's kind of looking everywhere, arms crossed, cigarette in her mouth. Ah, goodness, this is absolutely awful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Hey, Aki, will you do
You have
me a
gloves,
favor
Manson?
and remove the quotes
Yeah,
from
sure.
your name?
Oh, yeah.
It's just I'm trying to whisper something that's
Oh, it's
it
acting
doesn't
funny.
like that,
Yeah.
apparently.
Sorry.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna maybe look for some
There.
evidence up in the bedroom area. If y'all wanna maybe look for some other things, maybe some evidence and numbers, anything in here. If there's
Mm-hmm.
anything like that, we should plan how to get rid of it.
Do you have gloves?
Do we
They're-
have gloves?
I'm assuming doctors got gloves at least.
Yeah, I'm assuming you could have brought some gloves. That's fine.
Perfect. Of
Yeah,
course.
Monroe would probably have some. Oh, yeah, I was going to ask earlier, but I never got around to it. Would he be able to have, like, a pocket knife
Yep,
of some
that's
kind?
fine.
Yeah, cool. He's kind of looking around, and he kind of points out to the others. Hey, you guys think funny around? Like you notice the stove is all fucked up, right?
What do you mean?
Like the numbers on the stove, right? They're all weird.
What do you mean?
Kind of scratches his head a bit. I don't know. It's like it's stuck on like 22813, right? And it's like, the fuck would you have anything in like that for?
22813.
Hmm. I mean, it doesn't match anything, does it?
I don't
What-
know, but in
what does it
case it's
say?
significant,
Is it
What exactly
longitude,
is under?
latitude, something like that?
Um, kind of shrugs. I don't know. It just seems weird.
well, Amar's gonna reach out and say, "We've recorded this. I think that we shouldn't leave any possibility of numerical evidence lying around." And she'll clear it if she can.
Yeah, you can easily clear it.
it's really fucking odd, right? Like the whole thing, right? It's like they really. It's like he spray painted the numbers out front, right? Don't you think that's odd? Like the
Well,
numbers are supposed to be weird, right? And it seems like when you start thinking about it, he kind of did everything like with the numbers almost, right? Like there's 16 shots, right? But there was also 16 numbers, right? And it's like, I don't know, it seems like it makes sense somehow, right? It's weird.
Monroe, I don't want to make sense of it. I just want to hide it.
Yeah, but I mean, we have to kind of have some idea what we're doing to hide it, right? If it's tied in somehow, maybe he files some kind of order to it. Maybe we can use that to figure out what he was doing and get rid
um,
of it all, right?
I don't think that's such a good idea there, Monroe, because if him figuring out exactly what these numbers meant, if we try to follow in these footsteps there and try to figure out exactly where he was going in the name of trying to solve all this, we ain't trying to solve anything. We're just trying to cover it up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying we need to make sure we know we didn't miss anything. I'm not proposing we, figure out everything, right? But just make
No.
sure we don't miss nothing.
Masters is looking down at his phone, messing with it, and then he kind of like looks up towards Monroe and pauses for a moment. And he says, "Yeah, I hear you. I'm interested in trying to figure it out too, but at the same time, maybe they're right. It's kind of creepy, these numbers that seem getting in your head a little bit." And then he kind of wipes his phone and puts it back in his pocket.
The longer I work for Uncle Sam, the more I realize
Yeah,
I don't want to know what's going on, above my head most of the time.
I
But
guess so. It's just he kind of, looks over the room again. It's like look at the fucking clock, right? Why is the clock stuck?
There is
What is it?
buckshot and slugs everywhere. The stove appears to have been grazed, but this clock it's a digital clock above on the other side of the kitchen, is just flashing 9:20. The colon is flashing as if it was like went to be set, but somebody never hit the button.
So what does it suck at, sorry?
9:20, which is about an hour.
9:20.
It's currently about 8:20, so or right around there.
Oh, damn. 9/9/20.
Wait,
See
what's
what
the
I
first
mean,
nine
right?
from?
Like everything's fucking weird.
Amar clears that too.
Okay.
I'm
Meh.
going to go look for some family photos, she says.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the underwear from upstairs. Masters, do you mind keeping an eye on Monroe? If he starts spouting off any bullshit about numbers, maybe just
I ain't
clear it.
spouting no bullshit. I'm just saying it's fucking weird.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
got
cool. I keep an eye on Monroe.
Good.
And he smiles over at Monroe.
By the way, though, what time were they killed? Right? Was it 9:20?
They were killed. Bear with me while I look.
Masters will wait for them to leave, actually, the room, and walk over and kind of whisper to Monroe, like, hey man, I'm totally with you. I want to know what the hell's going on.
They were killed at 228:13, which is the same number on the stove.
Yeah, he'd bring that up before the other two have
Yeah.
kind of left the room, and he'd kind of nod to Masters, right? Yeah, like the number on the stove, right? I presume he's kind of looking over what info they've gathered, right? He's probably
Yep.
taking some
Mhm.
notes and shit. Like that lines up with when they were killed, right?
Yeah. That's crazy.
The clock is just fucking weird, right?
Oh man. And then you can tell he's like feeling something's wrong with his hand, and he's walking around in circles and using his other hand to kind of rub it, like he's got a little pain in it. And he keeps talking to Monroe in a whispered tone, so hopefully the ladies don't hear. He's like, what the hell do you think it means? Well, you know what? They're right though. I know they're right. We shouldn't be thinking about the numbers. We should just be getting rid of them, you know. But what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we need to really keep them around, but we definitely need to keep track of if it shows us to anything, right? Like if there's some kind of hint, and like if he had something, I don't know. It just seems important. Like we might be able to figure something out. Like if he did it all in a certain order, there might be something else he hid, right? Using that we might need to get rid of.
Masters nods. Yeah.
Anyway, just be careful, right? I mean, they are right. We don't want to get too in deep, right? But it is weird.
As Monroe and Masters talk downstairs, Amar and Manson, what are you doing specifically?
Manson's going into the bedroom, look around, and also gather up some of Miss
Ridgeway.
Miss Ridgeway's unmentionables.
Mhm.
And also just kind of looking around in general, seeing if there's any of the any blood up here, any signs of
Yeah, none of the
struggle.
murders took place upstairs.
Mhm.
The bedroom seems like a completely 100% normal bedroom.
Okay.
You can take underwear as you wish.
Just I was gonna kind of look around to see if there's any maybe a journal or something that Miss Ridgeway kept.
Go ahead and roll me luck.
Okay.
There is a journal.
Hey.
You find it underneath the bed.
Oh, she takes it out and starts going through it, seeing the latest entries, that kind of thing.
Roll me luck. There are a couple entries. Most are kind of boring about how they were going on vacation and general things about her children. Nothing that exciting.
When was the last entry?
3 days prior.
She's gonna take the journal, kind of give one more look around before heading kind of back downstairs.
Yeah, you don't see anything of real interest in the bedroom.
Amar is looking for where all the family photos are hanging, and she's going to try to catch pictures of Mrs. and especially anything that looks you know, like a rather attractive shot for her that she would put on any sort of
Yeah, you see
dating
basically
profile.
a glamour shot photo that you could use.
Yeah, she'll take a good copy with her own phone.
Yep, you can definitely do that.
Hmm. In the meanwhile, Monroe is kind of looking around for anything else. He's going to kind of check the area around all the bodies in particular, or, the outlines and stuff, as well as anything else that just sticks out as odd or out of place.
Yeah, I mean, downstairs you're seeing a bunch of, chalk outlines, and the kitchen is decimated by shot, right? And you see
Yeah.
kind of Derek over there at the table looking at something.
Yeah. You find anything?
And Derek's over there putting his gloves on and picks up some baseball card off of the table. Uh, Looks like some baseball card.
Was just sitting around, or?
His average on the fucking card here. 0.333. That's
Yeah?
what the fuck? That's the end of the number. It was painted on the ground outside. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, let me see. Yeah. Kind of looks it over and holds on to it. Yeah, that is, he would have gloves on by
Yeah,
this time anyway
that's
as well.
assumed.
He'll kind of, he'd have like an FBI type kit, right? So he'd kind of pull out like a baggie or something, like put that in there. Yeah, that's fucking weird.
How does that even match up?
I don't know. We might want to get it checked for prints. Get rid of it otherwise.
What?
What do you want bet? Kid brought it in with him, right?
The boy, he was 18 years old. He was killed, and his number. And he's trying to like make sense of it all. Gets a little bit dizzy for a second and shakes his head.
You all right, man? You're not
Yeah,
looking too good.
he kind of shaky, goes into his jacket and gets his pills out, and he doesn't really hide it from Monroe at this point. It's some of his medication. Yeah, I got MS.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's just overwhelming.
Huh. Well, do be careful. Like they said, the numbers are not too good to be around. So we might want to be a bit cautious with that.
This is crazy shit. Do you believe in God?
I don't know. I believe in my own two hands, right? And my head, right? And my head's telling me you should not worry too much about the fucking numbers, man. Because they're already getting to you, right?
Derek looks around, kind of weighing his words, deep thought, and looking at the pictures on the walls and stuff. He nods. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, enough with the numbers. I need to, uh, I need to go to the bathroom for a second.
yeah. Well, I mean, no. Because it's a crime scene and all that, right? But
I,
afterward.
I'll be okay. He goes into the bathroom and looking at himself in the mirror and kind of making sure he's cool and straight and everything, and he's not going to touch anything though.
Monroe and Masters, I would like you to give me a sanity roll, please.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh,
Wow,
fucking
there
hell.
you go.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit about no
You
fucking
should have
numbers.
you should have a token for that one. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no problem. Even though you are all good. Okay. So the scene kind of cuts to Mar walking to the garage looking for a tarp. Go ahead and give me a luck roll. You do find a camping tarp.
Great. And she's also looking for the ubiquitous cans of paint or spray paint that people keep in their garages.
Yeah, you find that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she is going to take the tarp and kind of unfold it, and she's going to take some paint that's in there and kind of slap it around in various places and then kind of fold the tarp around it so that you can't see the paint from the outside. And her intention is when they leave, she's going to spread the tarp over the numbers and hopefully the
Paint will cover them.
paint will kind of mess it up.
Mhm.
And she can blame it on, oh, I didn't know the tarp was dirty.
Yep. I hear you. That's a good idea. All right, so you collect the tarp. What else? Any other investigation of the house? It doesn't appear that anything is amiss other than the kitchen area and the hallway leading to the exit. Everything else looks like a normal house. So
Amar's probably more interested in what she's doing than actually hunting for
Mhm.
clues, so
Okay.
probably not her unless something just jumps
that's
out.
fine.
Manson's gonna bring down the journal towards Monroe and Masters and show the two of them. So found this journal belonging to the missus.
Nothing special in there, or
There could be, depending on your forgery skills.
yeah, well, he kind of looks to Masters. I don't suppose you could do something, or
Is there? I didn't find one when I was looking before. Out of character here. Is there any type of skill that would match up to forgery?
There's a forgery.
craft.
I think it's forgery,
Uh,
isn't it?
well, there's craft forgery. I know
Yeah.
when I scroll over it, but that's one of the baseline ones you have to choose from.
Yeah.
Oh, I have craft locksmithing. That's probably why.
Yeah. But so forgery is more for like official documents. Just like writing in a female's hand might be. I would let you just roll straight off, like probably. If you had forgery, that'd be great. But otherwise, I'd let you just roll off intelligence.
Constitution, please?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Intelligence, probably, if you wanted to try to match her handwriting in a decent way.
How smart are all y'all?
Not.
Not? You Masters, are you,
Not.
Oh,
am I gonna have to do this?
I'm not so bad. I guess.
I
Let's-
feel like I might have to do this.
Listen, I'm good with a lot of things, right? Math, numbers, and writing, not so much.
I mean, I'm gonna use my southern sensibility and not say anything past that. I'm gonna go grab a pen.
There's a pen and a cup in the hallway.
Is it the same color as the pen she's been using, or is it
It's all different
that she's
colors in the
used?
book. There's no
Okay,
mostly
perfect.
black and blue, but
All right, yeah, she'll use a black pen then, and she'll start writing about. Actually, she's gonna see if she can test on, if there's like more paper in the house. She's gonna test kind of the writing first before writing the
that's a
journal.
great idea. I'll give you. Yeah, you can do that, and I'll make the roll easy.
Okay.
Can I help her and try to see how I write as well?
Sure, you both can. Yeah, now I'm going to
Both
say
can
one
rat.
person's going to have to try to do it because somebody's going to eventually have to write in the book.
Right.
So you both can
Mhm.
I mean,
practice.
yeah, the
Yeah, you
practice.
can both practice,
That's-
but
Mm.
so either one of you would have succeeded. So go ahead and
Mhm. Hmm.
She's looking good though. Hers is
Yeah.
hers is
Mine's
like
looking better.
you better do it.
so
Yeah.
what are you writing in
Yeah.
the journal?
In the journal, kind of trying to match at least some of the, if she's made any like grammar errors, she'll kind of match them.
Mhm.
Punctuation, that kind of thing. If she's using the proper like I'm,
Yeah.
whatnot. She's kind of gonna write about, especially finding maybe spaces, maybe any in the previous sections. Are each entry kind of on separate pages, or they're
No,
like
there's usually
compounded
like
entries?
she writes like a paragraph and then puts a date in front of it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
date, paragraph, and she's just using this much. There's no empty space.
Hmm. Yeah, she's going to, I guess in the most recent one, she's, Manson's going to kind of talk about, 'cause I'm assuming this is a private journal, so she's going to write about, spending time with him again, um, and, excited to see him again, and um, can't wait until the next time they meet. Like, kind
Mm-hmm.
of very much, trying to imply that it's like, oh, she's kind of seeing someone on the side. She's a bit nervous about it. She doesn't know how her husband's going to take it. And she's going to regard it as, she's going to write regarding that it's exciting and it's fun and very, in a way, kind of casual about it,
Mm-hmm.
more than she's kind of planning some other things after.
Okay.
But yeah, she's just, writing just very casual relationship with someone that's not her husband.
Yeah, you were able to write that in there, and no one's coming up to the house currently.
Yeah, Derek's just kind of keeping an eye out, keeping watch, making sure like nobody catches her doing this or anything.
Yeah, no one else is coming in the
Um,
house.
Amar comes out of the garage carrying a tarp, and she says, can you guys go talk to the police officers? I want to put this tarp down, and I want to do it before they have a chance to stop me.
Why you, I mean, sure, I guess, but,
She
Yeah.
opens the tarp, and you can see some wet paint on the inside.
Yeah.
uh,
Let's go ask him some questions, I guess.
you guys, see anything else when you were looking around?
I didn't, not really. I got some photos of that we can maybe use, but other than that, it's sad. Oh,
Alright.
what's that you've got there, Manson?
Oh, a journal. And she shows Amar, opens it to the page that she wrote. Basically writing that she had a casual relationship with someone, planning on dropping evidence in Wade's apartment, that he basically obsessive evidence over her. She's regarding it as casual. He's regarding it as something more.
She smiles approvingly, and this is excellent. Very smart. Good find.
Thanks.
And the handwriting looks fantastic.
Thank you. Practice often, forging signatures and such.
Yeah, it looks exactly like it.
Wow. Really? You have a second career there.
More like a third.
All right, well, gentlemen, if we're done, are we done with the house?
I think so, but, maybe we want to look around a bit more, right?
Yeah, I'll go ahead
One
and sweep.
last once over?
Yeah, he, kind of pulls a little baggie out of his pocket. So, I want to get this dusted, right?
Mhm.
It was on the table, right? Masters found it. He, anyway, you see the number there?
Master.
Amar just looks, and then she looks away and says, I do not want to see the numbers. Why?
Yeah, well,
I,
all right.
I think we know whose fingerprints are on it, Monroe. I think we just destroy it at this point.
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm thinking, right? Because he probably brought it in here, right?
It is
So
literally
I'm
a
thinking,
baseball card. It's like, so, if you're in like high school,
Mhm.
you can get like baseball cards made of like your random high school baseball team, and
Oh,
it is
okay.
Michael Ridgeway, the 18-year-old,
uh,
and it has random stats on the back of it.
yeah, Monroe hadn't been particularly
Yeah.
paying attention to that. He
Yeah.
just thought, oh, it's a baseball
Yeah.
card,
Right.
right?
I just
And he
want to be
kind of
clear. Yeah.
realizes, huh?
Yeah, Derek
That's weird.
starts to say something, and he's like looking back and forth towards through Tim Monroe and Amar, and then he kind of just goes quiet. Uh, I'm gonna check the house one more time.
All right,
All right.
well, yeah, that is odd, but who knows? Maybe he found out, brought it here, right? One way or another, we'll get it out of here, get rid of it. But here's the thing, right? If we can spot numbers like that so easy, right? What's to stop anybody else who sees the stuff or saw the stuff already, right? I feel like we
Well,
want to make sure it's all taken care of.
yeah, we do. Well, that's why I'm saying a little bit of obfuscation with other numbers to the point where there's so many numbers they don't know which numbers that are important anymore. Might be helpful, especially if we get rid of any physical evidence, any evidence in their minds. I think that we can muddy those waters.
Yeah, I guess that'll work, right? Maybe add some stuff kind of hidden around that, could have been hidden around, right?
What what did I spy in the garage or anywhere in the house? Do we see any spray paint can that he used to write that number outside?
No. From the case file that the spray paint can was taken into evidence, but you don't
Okay.
see any other spray paint cans around. Masters, as the rest of them are talking, you kind of go through the house again. You don't find anything of interest. There's really nothing. There's almost nothing with the rest of the house that seems out of place besides the murder scenes. And as you kind of, the rest of you are heading out into the drive, I guess the officers are standing where they were before.
Masters will will kind of nod towards Amar, as if to, get ready. And Masters will start heading over towards the officers. Hey, officers, can I ask you some questions?
Of course, Agent. The female officer turns and looks to you.
Have you had a good chance to talk to all the neighbors and stuff, and I'm sure, and ask all the questions?
Yeah, we cased the neighborhood. Not much going on, honestly. No one knew the boy, the murderer. Everybody seems pretty devastated.
And they've never seen him around here before, the killer.
She shakes her head. No, never seen him. If you want to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her an alertness roll. Versus let's just do a persuade.
You want me to do a
Yeah.
persuade? Okay.
So she beat hers by 20.
And where's my persuade?
It should be under your skills list.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a good one.
Oh yeah, she is completely oblivious. She just sits there and talks to you.
Nice roll.
Nice. I kind of I kind of want to mention that's funny. That's funny that he was never seen here. I thought that the two might be lovers or something.
She raises her eyebrows. Oh, really? No one would suspect that. Everybody seems to think that the primary is the Dina and her husband. She closed her eyes. I can't remember his name, but they were happy, But families are weird like that, I guess. Never know what happens under the sheets. She kind of gives Masters a strange look when she says that.
Yeah, I guess so. But you never can tell about a person, really.
Uh,
Everybody's got secrets, right?
Right. And she turns and looks as the tarp is being laid over the numbers. Oh, you found something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, just and she kind of stands on it and flattens it out against the ground. Maybe we can find some rocks to hold it
Well,
down.
we have
And
barrier
she's,
cones we can put over it.
mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that.
And the other
And she
officer.
just continues to like almost obsessively flatten it against the ground.
The officers, there's those cones that have the real heavy like plastic thing that keeps them held down. The officer grabs it and begins to position it on the sides. Oh well,
Let's.
she nods. Is there anything else you need from us, officers?
I don't think so. Just continue to do the good work you're doing.
I think you've done enough. Thank you very much.
You head towards the car. I have one thing I need to whisper. And then, hold on 1 second before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whispered that to two of you.
Yeah, once we kind of sit in the car, right? Monroe kind of just, well, like, once we're moving and stuff, he's like, it's really fucking weird, right?
How many times have you
Amara's just
said
gonna
that?
start shaking her head, just shaking her head. Does this car have a radio?
Of course.
Monroe,
Yes,
are you gonna go on about the numbers again?
Well, I mean, it kind of makes you wonder, right?
You know, it really doesn't.
Well, I mean, it's like, it would be one thing, right? If it was like shit he did, right? And put in place, right?
Right, like he
When the
planned it.
fucking car plate, right, is 9920, right? That's fucking...
Amar starts singing 8675309.
Derek,
Just
Derek
I'm-
will, Derek will look at Monroe when he's saying that, like kind of shocked on his face.
What do you mean the whose license plate's 9920?
Oh,
I mean,
license
this
plate.
car. Yeah, like this one, right?
I noticed
The one
it
that
too.
has nothing to do with all the other shit, right?
I think at this point we should really stop talking about this, and you should really stop thinking about it.
Do you think it's like some kind of creepy fucking
Monroe,
thing
I
where the
swear to
more you
God,
think
I will
about
take
it...
my cigarette and I will put it out on your dick. Please stop talking about this fucking thing. All
And
right?
as you guys are arguing as you're driving to wherever you're going next at about 9 p.m., realizing that the numbers might be a little bit more prolific than you had thought, the scene fades to black, and we'll be done for the night.